Have you ever wanted to terrorize the local animal population for the sole purpose of putting them on a t-shirt? Well, let me introduce you to Monster Hunter Wilds, a game where you start by fighting a frog from New York and then
an ancient demonic dragon!
Now, I've never really played any of the Monster Hunter games before, but this feels like the new generation of Monster Hunter. Because the only other Monster Hunter that I've played in the series is World, and while I had a decent time there, I never really thought of it as something for me. I'm not sure if it was just because of the weapons, or the general difficulty of the game, or how this monster is basically the tutorial boss. But Wilds takes it a step further, you know, it's really a great and addicting game with all the monster designs, gameplay styles, crafting systems, and basically everything you'd expect from a Monster Hunter game and then some. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm hopping on the bandwagon here a little bit because when I saw all the hype and praise this game was getting, I had to try it. And it was weird at first, you know, like figuring out all the weapon combos, the intimidating amount of craftable items, and somewhat clunky / hard to maneuver controls. But like with any other game, obviously there's gonna be a learning curve. While I do enjoy the game and am very much addicted to it right now of grinding and farming monsters, I can see some things here that are going to be intimidating and possibly detract new players. I'll get into it a little bit more later, but for the most part, in my opinion, everything in Wilds is pretty solid, other than the story.
You look like you drink white Gatorade and smell like nickels. Fuck you.
The story here is serviceable at best. I mean, I never really paid attention to it because this is, in my opinion, a gameplay-centric experience. Without spoiling it, you're with this big band of explorers checking out new regions, trying to turn cool monsters into a sword or some shit, I don't know. Until you stumble upon a child missing from their mysterious home, and for some reason, all the big monsters roaming the lands are acting a little weird. So it's up to you and the guys to explore, learn, and get to the bottom of things. Or just be like me and skip every cutscene. Cause I just want to fucking murder you, cut their organs open, give me your goddamn kneecaps. What I really enjoyed about the overall experience of Wilds is that this game isn't truly over after you finish the main story. I say that because I didn't expect this going into the game, because this is generally my first true Monster Hunter experience that I've played through completely. Like, almost every aspect of this game is just very good. Like, I really have no other way to describe it other than Monster Hunter is fun as hell, man. Usually whenever I play video games, I'm playing to have a power fantasy or relaxing by building a city or even just causing general mayhem. But in Monster Hunter, you get a lot of this. Dude, I can't even begin to tell you all the things involved with the gameplay here because this video will end up being 30 minutes long. But to summarize it all, you hunt monsters.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Okay, so you see this guy? That's you. You see that cat? That's your friend. You see that kid? He's a bitch. Look, that has nothing to do with the gameplay, I just wanted to say it. Anyway, the gameplay here consists of a lot of things, and I think you should experience them firsthand to get an actual feel of everything this game has to offer. But the core gameplay loop kind of sticks to 5 things: accepting a quest, gearing up, hunting, crafting, and rinse and repeat. That's a very, very, very basic description of what you're going to be doing in this game, at least for the first half when you're still in the early game. Monster Hunter Wilds has a lot to offer here, especially since with this version of Monster Hunter, its main staple is a seamless open world that allows for continuous exploration in between zones, making tracking and hunting more immersive. These zones include dynamic environments and weathers with the time of day influencing monster interactions that affect all hunts. The combat and weapon system in this game is actually very satisfying. All 14 weapons of the Monster Hunter variety return, but each are expanded with new moves and mechanics and even weapon swapping thanks to your secret. Look, I don't know how to pronounce that exactly, so I'm just gonna call it that. It allows for auto travels, or basically fast travels in between different base camps, weapon swaps on the go letting you change strategies mid-hunt, and even assisted combat. An example of that is usually starting off with a mounting attack, allowing you to jump off your secret and doing huge amount of damage. All you gotta do is jump off them and there you go. Mine's name is Jerry.
You stupid n-
The quest and progression system in Wilds is actually not too hard to figure out. There's 6 main chapters in total, with the purpose of being story-driven quests that introduce new monsters and environments. These include branching quests that allow you to hunt other monsters for additional rewards. As soon as you complete chapter 3, you're on to the endgame content, where you fight monsters who are usually more aggressive, and they're labeled as high rank or master rank monsters that usually include tempered and variant types of creatures who are more special and especially more aggressive versions of the existing creatures. What I love about this is that it seamlessly integrates with Capcom's live service updates, which will include new monsters and weapons planned for post-launch content. Speaking of weapons, they're usually tied to progression. As you progress throughout the game, you'll notice that specific weapons will have certain trees that you can upgrade into, and a lot of them will have this, indicating that you haven't fought the right monster yet in order to craft this weapon. Same goes for the armored. And man, let me tell you that the late game armor is pretty drippy. There's plenty more that goes into the armor and weapon system here, like gems and crafting specific weapons that will fit what element damage you want to do, but that's mostly near towards the very end of the end game. Overall, in my experience of Monster Hunter Wilds gameplay, is that it aims to make every hunt more immersive, strategic, and dynamic, which makes the encounters feel more natural and unpredictable. Whether you play it solo or with a group of friends, the game encourages adaptability and exploration like never before.
What the? Is he saying something?
I remember my first experience with a monster from the Monster Hunter franchise, and it was this little baby lizard. You know, nothing too bad. I thought it was going to be easy sailing from here on out. Until it wasn't. And ever since then, I've been intimidated to even touch a Monster Hunter game. But I'm actually very glad that I bought this and played it, because almost every single monster here is pretty fun to fight. Minus you, dumbass fucking fish, fucking belly flopping mother. From the Kut-Ku to the Arc-Veiled, every single fight with these monsters is always satisfying. Some are a little bit more annoying than others, of course, especially when all they do is this. The combat with the monsters in this game has also changed compared to the previous entries. Some of them now react more intelligently to your attacks, dodging when you get too predictable, countering when you get too aggressive, and straight up jumping your ass if you're not too careful. It's like they all collectively took a Hunter survival course before I even booted up the goddamn game. Some of them don't even wait for you to get comfortable. You step into the arena, and before you know it, here comes some overgrown lizard bulldozing you into the next area. And don't get me started on when there's a turf war. You think this is about to be a 1v1? Yeah, no, fuck that. Dude, some of these monsters are out here bringing in their homies like it's a Smash Bros. Squad Strike. But despite all of this, despite all the bullshit, despite all the cartwheeling fish demons and the pissed off Arc-Veils that somehow land every hit even when you fucking roll, the fights are just so damn good. Every monster feels like an actual living, breathing creature. Not just some boss with a health bar. Shit, there's not even health bars in this game. They have personalities, they have routines, and when two rival monsters meet, oh, it's about to go down.
It's time to go to heaven, my child.
Stop it, what are you doing?
Stop it.
Stop it,
Don't
cut
fight.
it out,
Don't
help.
stop.
The absolute chaos of watching a Cumatrice throw hands with a Rathalos while you're just trying to heal is both terrifying and hilarious. And that's the beauty of Monster Hunter. The monsters aren't just there for you to fight, they're part of the world. Some hunt, some scavenge, and some just exist to ruin your day. But no matter what, every hunt feels different, even if you're getting your ass kicked. So yeah, maybe my first experience with Monster Hunter scarred me for life, but I kept coming back. And honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. After 100 hours of Monster Hunter Wilds, I can confidently say this. I understand it now. I finally understand why this series has such a die-hard fan base. There's just something about the thrill of the hunt and the satisfaction of mastering your weapon. The pure adrenaline rush of taking down a towering fire-spewing nightmare, and doing that with your homies, it just never gets old. To be fair, yes, the game is a little jank and the controls do take some time to get used to, and the crafting system will have you questioning your literacy skills. And I'm gonna be real here. Some of these monsters fight like they're off a fucking vodka Red Bull, dude, because why are you that mad? But despite all that, despite the bullshit hitboxes and the rage-inducing stun locks and the occasional let me just belly flop into you until you're fucking dead, Monster Hunter Wilds is one of the most addicting, rewarding, and straight up fun game I've played in years. And the best part, the grind doesn't even stop. You think you're done, dude? No, there's always another monster to hunt, another drippy armor set to flex, another challenge that makes you want to punch a hole right through your monitor, but it keeps you coming back anyway. So if you're on the fence about trying Monster Hunter Wilds, let me leave you with this. You will struggle, you will cart, and you will question your life choices about buying this game, but then you're gonna get back up and do it all over again. Because that's Monster Hunter, and honestly, I love it.